Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. You know who it is. And it's time for our monthly Great Album segment where I go over a bunch of records that I enjoyed quite a bit this past month, recommend them to you just in case they slipped through the cracks. Links to all the reviews are down there in the description box. And let's let the recommendations begin. Number one, miraculously, I enjoyed the new Tyler, the Creator album a lot. Flower Boy. I did not anticipate that I would like this. I did not anticipate that it would be Tyler's best produced album. I did not anticipate that it would be his best performed album as far as his rapping goes. So many aspects of Tyler's music that have always been good have just smoothed out and matured so beautifully, and I feel like this is the album where we're finally getting like a deep introspective dive into Tyler's developed psyche. It's almost got me like, wanting to re-listen to every single thing he's put out so far multiple times just to kind of take in the full progression and the full scope of what brought him here to this point. But lots of beautiful jazzy instrumentation on this thing, more thoughtful lyrics, a few bangers, high points, aggressive points on the album that have quite a bit of energy, great guest singers and features. Just not a lot to critique about this album outside of kind of a rough ending and just a wish that the themes and the concept of the album came together a little bit more tightly and greatly. But obviously Tyler has progressed and evolved a lot since his past couple of records. It still seems like there's room to improve, room to evolve, and I'm sort of excited to see that progress happen because, especially with a record like this under his belt now, that potential is just very much real. Next, Pissed Jeans, Why Love Now? Post-hardcore and noise rock band Pissed Jeans coming through with their most primal, aggressive, heavy, and muscular album yet, with hilariously dark and very tongue-in-cheek lyrics all over this thing. It is a little inconsistent. The flow is kind of weird. There are a few tracks that feel maybe slightly redundant, and of course the band does tend to wear their influences on their sleeves, but this is a blood-pumping and a very entertaining album with lots of satirical, interesting lyrics throughout. High energy, high adrenaline, and very thoughtful too. Next, JayZ, 444. JayZ comes through with a record that's almost like him like vlogging or something. Great instrumentals, very raw, very jazzy, very stripped down from no ID, and JayZ really getting introspective on this thing. Like he's really sort of revealing a side to himself that he hasn't on any other record prior. And of course he goes into a little bit his marriage transgressions against Beyonce. It's a very interesting record. It's an interesting record for those who want to sort of hear more from JayZ, the icon, the persona, the person. As I said in my review, this is really his first album as not just simply JayZ, but Sean Carter. Next, I have to give a shout out to the new Guerilla Toss album, GT Ultra. This is like a funky, wacky, left field new wave record. Really brings back the sounds of new wave from the 80s and the late 70s that have kind of been forgotten with time. I feel like the sounds of synth pop have kind of dominated a lot of the new wave revival that we've seen recently, but we haven't heard a lot of groups like Guerilla Toss over here embracing, the sounds of groups like Ecstasy, where, you're getting those funkier bass lines, those kookier electronics. GT Ultra really kind of brings all of that and more, with some new modern experimental flares, a lot of interesting tunes, a lot of energy, a lot of pep, a lot of character, and it just makes me excited even more to hear what the band is going to be doing in the future. Love, love, love this thing. It is a tad short, does leave me wanting more, but it's great. And finally, got to give a shout out to the new, very versatile and very passionate, very dark, very textured, and very well written new Algiers album, The Underside of Power. Algiers continues this streak of writing politically charged music that fuses elements of soul and gospel and blues with punk and post-punk and gothic music, like a really weird crossroads of sounds. for this band's songs, and I feel like they come together even more seamlessly on this new record over here. Not only that, but some of the best material, some of the best songs the band has ever written to date on this thing. Most notably the title track. Really proud that these guys are continuing to evolve and mature, and definitely keep an eye and an ear out for what they're doing on this record and for what they're doing in the future. If there's one band out there that I feel like is just not getting enough hype and enough attention and enough respect right now, it's Algiers, because what they're doing is so incredibly creative and cutting edge, but I just feel like few people are kind of realizing that. The new Billy Woods album, Known Unknowns, which sort of slipped my mind for a second because I did a co-review of that album with Mike Seatown. Very cryptic, very dark, and very sort of riddle-like Billy Woods is. East Coast MC, punchier production on this thing than usual. Beats handled by Blockhead from beginning to end on this thing. Love the beats, love the beats, love the beats. Billy Woods, of course, is as cryptic as ever on these instrumentals. To me, it's really kind of like a loner's hip-hop album, a bohemian's hip-hop album. Maybe a little bit too abstract for your average person, but, me personally, I'm sort of used to Billy Woods' style at this point. I love kind of not fully knowing or understanding what sort of the interesting and vivid images that he's bringing up in a song are, or sort of what they're connected to, or what exactly they mean, but slowly kind of piecing those puzzle pieces together as I listen to his work. Again, it's kind of what makes him special and interesting as an MC, that he speaks in such coded and disjointed language a lot of the time. And the more that I listen to it, again, the more beauties and the more sort of interesting intricacies reveal themselves about this record. He's really sort of like a thinking man's MC, and he's an MC that's really going to kind of not test your patience, but he certainly requires patience. I guess it's really sort of the replay that kind of you will most likely find power in Billy Woods' music with. And okay, there we go. I think that's everything I wanted to mention. I do kind of do these off the top of my head, so it is good that I remembered all of those. Okay. All right. Again, all of those albums down there in the description. Make sure to listen to them. Make sure to check them out. I'm recommending them to you. Don't let them slip through the cracks. And we are going to leave it at that. Great albums. Transition. Have you given these albums a listen? Did you love them? Did you hate them? What would you rate them? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe, and please don't cry. Just leave an angry comment in the comments if you're angry. Click on the video next to my head. Watch another video. Hang out longer with your boy. Or click on the link to subscribe to the channel. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next video. Forever.